Welcome everybody to week 3 of 2024. All right, we got our program design review going on here. This is the Phoenix AMRAP. This is one of my favorites. I love starting off with the cardio, getting the strength. I feel like I get both. I get a really good cardiovascular session as well as a good opportunity to grow my muscles, which my wife appreciates when All right, so let's start the top. As a reminder, this is how it goes. We've put yellow boxes underneath each exercise to give you a purpose at each station. So again, these program design reviews are in addition to what already comes out. The videos give great coaching cues. We're trying to just make sure, you have a purpose and engagement at each station, that you also have an entertainment factor that you could use. And I give you a good idea. Maybe you give me a better one. So maybe this just stimulates your thinking. And we've now started even adding a word of the day at the bottom, which we're going to have the different locations bring a word of the day in our leadership calls each week. So here we go. Energy lineups. I suggest TD style, since TD will be in the house this coming week, so why not do something that kind of celebrates what he's already taught us. So much of our program design has been influenced by him. So that's my suggestion. And when I say TD style, we all know what that means. You're kind of taking a turn cheering for one another, just like what he does at the conferences. Give your people something new. They crave both variety and consistency. So you have to figure out how to accomplish both. All right. So station number 1 is the dumbbell twist and pivot. All right. So you're challenging both pace and range of motion. When I say range of motion, how they might drop that knee. When I highlighted the word pivot in red, the red stuff is usually something to do with entertainment. I had these girls in here telling me about the TV show Friends when Chandler came over to help move the couch, and he kept being like, Ross was like, pivot, and so they were all yelling pivot, it became like a little cultural thing around here. So that's the stuff that you can do in your pre-warm-up. You can do like the Apache dance. You can do things that just entertain people. You can give them a word of the day up front about just going all in on this workout. But you might even want to play on your TV that you can cast to, like a little Friends clip about pivot. And then suddenly all your sessions are fun because people are yelling pivot the whole time, right? So you can easily Google that, pivot on YouTube with Friends. Right. So battle rope, clap waves. So of course, we're challenging the pace as it is with most of these exercises, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Good song for that is I Can Make Your Hands Clap. Yeah, here we go. I don't know if you guys can hear, but Andy's already got it going in the background. Now, for those of you that share the Fun Coaching song list with us, I try to shuffle these songs to the top. Some weeks I do, and some weeks I forget to, but I highly recommend, taking some of these song lists that speak to you, or if you think of one of your own, get it to the top, make it super easy on yourself, right? Yeah, because otherwise you're like, let me search this real quick or scroll through here, and good humor and making people smile is all about timing. If you come in too late, you shouldn't have done it at all, right? So, all right, here we go. Kettlebell figure 8. Shout out to Cindy, who was in the video this week. Jeremy, thanks for choosing her. Yeah, you got that Globetrotters going on there, right? So good little fun thing to do. Cindy's in the video saying, oh, this takes me back to my basketball days. But that's who you want to be as a coach too, right? Be fun. And especially if you're Cindy versus Jeremy, because we know Jeremy has a basketball history. We might be shocked to learn that Cindy did, like
well, I think I didn't.
She's like, when I was dunking and
Right. Spinning it on my one finger.
Yeah. Spinning it on my one finger. We'll have to have her show us that sometime when we're all together as a team. All right, TRX jump pistol squat. So we're talking about a single leg jump. So you're challenging the range of motion as always on that pistol squat, right? We want to see them get their butt down to the ground, get those arms extended, all that kind of stuff. But you might want to play some sort of jump music. There's a few different ones. VH, that's Van Halen jump. House of Pain jump. You got let's get this thing jumping. I think that one that Andy's used. So whatever you want to do, but definitely work with your co-coach. The better your show, the more your sessions will grow. And we are talking about growth in this new year, right? So jam ball slams. Slam Bionics, that's one that the Corning location introduced me to. So there's a Slam song as well if you want it. But you know, you're challenging the power. I like to use those as teaching moments as well. I tell them that there's a 40% steeper decline as we age in power than there is in muscle tissue. And what is power? Our ability to do something fast one time, stop a child from going into traffic, save ourselves from a fall. Hey, anybody want power in their body now? Good. All right. The more power you put in this ball, the more power it puts in your body. Let's go. Right. So like you can use like a quick little teaching moment and make people want to do an exercise that much more. Then we have a 6-station
Add all the
lunge with a twist. Then we get into the AMRAP. AMRAP, as we all know, as many rounds as possible for a given time. The given time on this is 5 minutes. And so with that, you know, you give them their magic number, whatever that might be. Doesn't always have to be 10. But, you know, give them that hypertrophy rep range of 8 to 12, somewhere in there. Give them a magic number. And then you got your kettlebell sumo deadlift. You got your foam roller squat to stand, and you got your push-ups. So I don't even know if I spelled Yokozuna right, but whenever I'm doing the sumo thing, I got to have the Yokozuna song come out, right? You know, like that's a whole Japanese thing. It gets a good vibe going for demonstrating something that has sumo in it. And then teach them the why behind the squat to stand. Shout out to Jeremy for putting correctives into our workout to help make our people more functionally fit. We're talking about retraining a squat from the bottom up. And so I'll let him talk more about that because I don't want to steal his thunder, but it's really great that it's in there. So you want to explain why it's in there? Because otherwise people are like, what am I doing with this foam roller over here? You know, don't I need a kettlebell? You know, you got to tell them. Perfect push-up. All right. So Sam did a great job in the video presenting the perfect push-up. But there's a lot of people that have shoulder issues in our gym because they don't do push-ups right. And so why don't you help them do them better this week as they get a chance to really focus on a strength activity for a number of reps. So then you get on to AMRAP station number 2. You know, quite often, I forgot to do this last night. We started our first bowling league, so it was kind of a crazy day. But I usually highlight these boxes orange. Orange always means equipment or exercise considerations. We probably still have to reshuffle our room here in Sayre, just like you guys might, because your order may be different. So we're just going to talk about the exercises now. But clearly all of these could be highlighted orange. You have to position whatever works well for you in your gym, and you already know that. But then the next one is the super band squat and press. We have the mountain climber to jumping mountain climber. We have the dumbbell bent over row. So, you know, with all that, we'll just talk about the fact that, you know, you want to make sure people are using challenging bands, that they're using a good pace for the mountain climber. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm going to erase that. Do a push-up again. No, but it's all about this. You know, for me, I can't tell you. I've done it more times than I can count. Like I go around the room just making sure that when people are doing retraction exercise, that they're getting good retraction, because what I know about retraction is that it's like physical therapy. We're all too internally rotated. And so if you want to help people to correct impingements in their shoulders, you want to make sure they get good retraction when they're doing retraction exercises. So that's why I'm always going around touching people between the shoulder blades. And that may be something you want to consider as well, that power of touch. The TRX suspended pull-up, the V-up to the Russian twist, and then the sandbag ISO bear hold push. So with that, you know, you want to ensure that it actually is a vertical pull on the suspended pull-up. You want to coach core engagement with the V-up. That could be something, you know, like if I was in Jeremy's location, be coming along, hit me in the stomach. You know, I know how he does it. He like to torture me. I'm looking forward to my next Tuesday workout when I see him. And then, and then we're going to challenge the pace on that last one, right? Because it is like, you know, you're squat thrusting and then you're back up and you're back and forth. So good form, good pace. We have a team relay finisher. So, you know, with that, you know, just know your location. You can highlight that orange if you feel like people are going to fall in your location. One thing you got to do is teach that forward lean. You know, they should not be upright running backwards, right? You know, like next thing you know, they're head over tea kettle. Ski hops, standing bicycles, crisscross jacks, good little pace activity should really give them a good burnout. And the word of the week: the world needs dreamers and the world needs doers, but above all, the world needs dreamers who do. So that's my word of the week. And then next week will come from horse head. All right, Jeremy, over to you. What would you add to this?
Yeah, so this week's workout, I for both of them, because I don't know when Todd is going to be at either for the locations around here. So I try to think of like what we do sometimes at the conferences with Todd. I know we usually do a twist and pivot, use a jam ball and sound effects. He got that as he gets that movement right. That not the anti rotation. It is more rotation. It is rotation of the core when he's doing that twist and pivot. So we have jam ball slams in here, and I know he likes to do a lot of slams as well. So I just alternated with a dumbbell set with a twist and pivot. So I know we did it in Chicago. We had a station where we twist and pivot with the gym balls. We're gonna do it with the dumbbells this week. But again, encourage pace, range of motion too. If the knees are healthy, dip a little deeper with that lunge. If not, just stick with that split stance as you go side to side. Still try to get that rotation in the core. Like Peter Swiss says is like really great. It's good for us to still work in rotation and anti-rotation. Is a good workout to have a rotation to work out in. So that's why we're doing the twist and pivot. And again, something that we've done several times with Todd at conference. The battle rope clap waves, another song you can do. I put in the chat, just make it clap. That's really simple too, because it comes out immediately, like just make it clap. So it says it right as you play the song. So it's Busta Rhymes, just make it clap. Is a good energized song. I usually have it on my exit. So when people leave and I say, give yourself a hand after the cool down, and no one claps for me, at least that song claps for me. So it's always my song I play right after my cool down. Just make it clap if I say, and I'll give you guys give yourself a hand, and wiping yourself down with their towel still, trying to get their breath down and breathing under control. So they might not give me a standing ovation right away, but the song will immediately. So that's why I usually play that song. But it's another good song to play when it comes to the demonstrations of the clap waves. Figure eight. That's another one you can have some fun with, like the Globetrotters again. Bring your basketball skills out, right? Under the leg, working with that. Passing front to back, right? Passing the front to back is very important. I always talk about that's a great cue when you're doing figure eights. Don't do it back to front. You don't wipe back to front. You wipe front to back. So make sure you say you wipe front to back. So wipe it down. Honestly, I never even said that. There was a gynecologist here, and Megan was working out, and she said it out loud. She's like, "Yeah, like you're wiping." And then the gynecologist said, "I always wanted to say that out loud, but I never said it." So like, yeah, that's the way you can get somebody. If someone's distracted and talking, say that, right? Like you wipe.
Yeah, you never know who you might be helping with their hygiene as well.
Listen, if you go back to front, there might be some issues going on there. But yeah. So that's I guess when jam ball slams, you're always doing pistol squat, single leg, right? At the hop again, very important to stress landing lightly on these any type of top jumps we do. Like I always say, although we're jumping on concrete, imagine you're jumping on clouds or pillows. So you want to make sure you're landing soft. Absorb the jump, right? Don't absorb the ground, absorb the jump. So it's less on the knees, ankles, and hips. So save the joints, and please, if that is uncomfortable anyway, do not encourage members do not add the hop. Just stick with the single leg, or just keep both feet on the ground. Gym ball slams, like power is off from the core. Like on this one, you want to stay strong in the core. Really exaggerate that slam down. That's more of that Martin Rooney style though, as you come up overhead and really force that ball into the ground as you slam it down. It generates, right? And it shouldn't be, no one's gonna slam hard by just dropping the ball in the air. Like ending that squat in the bend. Make sure you dip your hips down into that squat as you come down with that slam. Add more power by adding a jump in there, or again, just save the low back, or save it if you're not working with the slam, hit that wood chop. If needed, you got that reverse lunge with a twist. It's a fun movement, right? Nothing too crazy or difficult with that. Just drop the knee down and twist the hips as you come to the top. Bring out your best dance moves with that one. Onto the AMRAP. We really stress here, like we want people to challenge themselves to pick up heavier weight. So when we say AMRAP, it's easy to say like aim for 10 reps, right? But we might tell members to like, hey, man, if you're looking to do something to focus more on strength today, aim for 5 to 8 reps, right? You want to do more endurance, go to 10 to 15. And in the meantime, too, know like you're not set to one number. Like if you just say, hey, I really want to pick up that 200-pound kettlebell, right? Give yourself a goal to do it, right? But if you don't ever touch it, you're never going to be able to do it. So go for a rep or two. And then if you get it, then drop down and go for the 80 for 10 to 15 reps within that station, right? Now, again, not every movement is going to need that, but like if there is one that we're doing chest press and someone's like, man, I really want to attempt to press the 50-pound dumbbells, like, what a better time to learn it is within an AMRAP workout, right? Have a coach come spot you, really get the coach attention, go spot them, and you don't know how much like I I just had a girl bench. We were doing superset AMRAP, and we had the chest press. She was doing 25s. I'm like, yo, just give me 3 reps of 35, just so you can do it and see that you can feel it and see what it feels like. Because if you stick with 25s every single week, like you're not going to get any stronger, right? So she went up there, she went down 5 reps, and man, she gave me a high five and was like, thank you for like, dude. Never have done it. So know your client's chest press, anytime press, a squat, a deadlift, like those main lifts, give them a goal to try to pick up something heavier than they used to, right? Because if they don't do it, they'll never know if they can do it, right? So we always say like anywhere from 5 to 8, 10 to 15, depending on your mood, how you feel, right? It's your workout, make it your best, right? So if today you want to go heavy, when I do AMRAP and I'm in the class, it's hardly ever I go for 10 reps. Like if I'm picking up the 110 dumbbell presses, like I could do 10 reps, 3 sets, 10 reps. But if I in a class, I might just do like, 5 reps of it, and after it give me a nice little pump, as a strength workout. So
We
again,
want to see you
Yeah,
prove
we
it.
want to see it.
Prove
We
it.
don't believe it.
okay, I'll do it after this class, promise you. I still owe you Sam's Fandle video too. When I see Sam, I'll get him that. So I got you.
Yeah. Are you talking about the happy baby
Happy
video?
baby, the happy baby video. Yes, I got you. So with AMRAP, but then so like with that, sumo style, right? This is a good one. Like sumo wrestler, where they have a wide base. So as you approach it, smack those quads, bam, bam, get that wide base, right? Have some fun with it with the demonstration. Toes are flared out. You're gonna feel more activation in inner thigh when you inner thigh obviously posterior chain to low back. Glute hammies are gonna be involved with the sumo deadlift. So something you can have fun with that. If you have like a sumo song right there, Yokozuna, that wrestler you might want to put up there, Rakishi, when he like puts his butt in people's faces. Nah, don't want to do that. But you know Rakishi? I know Andy knows Rakishi. Andy know Rakishi? You watch WWE? You don't watch wrestling, do you? Samir knows Rakishi, so I don't feel bad. Rakishi's a sumo wrestler in the WWE, and his move was to put his butt in people's faces when they're in the corner, and he would just shake his butt in their face.
Oh, like twerking?
Oh yeah, twerking on your face. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
God.
have some fun. Throw some Rakishi up there. All right. Or the Rakishi theme song. So we can do that. The foam roller squat to stand. So that with this is a great corrective exercise. You can indicate a lot with this, like whether you have like tight soleus muscles, which is your lower legs, ankle mobility work. So you find out someone is coming up to their toes on that, it might be an indication that they're tight on the lower legs, right? So elevating their heels, so they'll see that they can move through this movement a lot easier. If the person is leaning too far forward, could be signals that low back, is tight, right? So again, people like that, you see people rising to their toes on this movement with the foam roller, really, really, really stress elevating their heels. So if you have a poly beam, if you have a book laying around in your gym, something that's like, doesn't mean your heels too far off the ground, but enough that they can really focus on keeping their heels and going through the heels on the movement is going to be important. Shoulder mobility, you're going to see a lot of shoulder mobility health too, like rather or not, they can keep their hands overhead as they go down, or you see that they're coming up forward with it. So again, a way to test a lot of identifiers in there that you can look at a member and say, man, they're struggling in mobility of the shoulder, ankle mobility, and lower back health. So what this squat is saying, so it's a very, very important movement. So make sure you're stressing that too. Like, you're finding that you're looking at the ground when you come up, like it might be an indicator that you have, you know, a tight low back or something like that, right? If you come to your toes, you want to work on, you know, flexibility of the ankle, mobility of the ankle and the soleus muscle. So calves, all that, you know, can be an indicator of why you're rising to your toes and not sitting flat on your heels with a foam roller. Push up, have your mini bands ready, but the elbows, a great cue. I mean, when that, I think Brooklyn was the first person I saw that used that in a video, and right below the breastbone, right below, like right across the sternum. You know, that is a huge help to help someone really feel comfortable in mastering a push up, right? And for people that start off with it, for ours, the darker the band, the more help you get, the lighter the band, more relativism with your body weight. So to see people move down in their mini bands is pretty cool because, you know, they're on the way to not use that band at all. So like having stuff like that, if you have the regular mini bands, obviously the black's gonna help out the most, and the yellow's gonna be the one that's gonna be closest to your body weight. So know the member, you want to lock the elbows in the side, always say wrists under your shoulders, hands should not be above the head, directly below the shoulders as you go to that push up, come right back down. You know, another progression, if they start on both knees, have them go to just one knee, right? That's gonna give them more body weight, but make sure the butt goes with them, no butts left behind as you go down to that push up. Two band overhead press. This is in the conquer or squat with a vertical press overhead. Obviously, the thicker the band, the harder it's going to be. Thinner band is going to be easier. So if there's someone working with a thinner band, again, encourage them to get more repetition with a thinner band, just to get like more of a burnout within that AMRAP. So they don't have to necessarily always sit for 10, maybe go 15, 20 reps that they are doing. They squat or they press with a small band. You're a mountain climber, you know, they're just a dynamic core exercise to use in a prone position. Bent over rows, again, retraction, like Travis says, overhand grip, the neutral grip to really get the rotator cuff moving, right? So not just having it be, you know, straight up, right? I just want to see some good rotation of the wrists as you have the arms down, come up neutral, and you'll see even when you come neutral, you'll get better range of motion with driving the elbow behind your back, keep that chest big. I always say, like, I want to see, you know, the writing on your shirt. So your head's down, like you're most like you're riding your back. You're coming internally rotated, like bring your shoulders back, keep that chest big. I want to see the literature on your shirt. With a bent over row, and it's easy. If that becomes too aggressive on your lower back, just drop it down to a 3-point row. But same concept, like when you're doing a 3-point row, they still shouldn't be here. Bring that chest up, and I call it the chainsaw motion, or we could say snowblower because it's winter. Like bringing it to your hips, like you're starting that snowblower or that chainsaw. You know, bring it to the hips as you drive the hand towards your hips, elbows locked, activating your lats. Spinning pull-ups is a great way to, again, he has some Jedis in the class. Don't teach it, necessarily show it, but if you have some Jedis in the class, you can challenge them, go to the pull-up bar to get 3 to 5, 10 reps of pull-ups. If their goal is to get 10, have them get 10. The next round, when they come back to that area, go drop down to TRX. If they don't get 10, the next time they can go for 8, right? Do some drop sets. It's very important too. Being on drop sets a lot as well. So if you start off heavy, go light, or do a pyramid, progress it, right? Start off light, try to go heavy by the next time you come around. My goal is always to get like within that 5 minutes, to get through everything 3 times, right? So like you can start off light, and then you get third set, try to go heavy, or again, start off heavy, and on that third set, reduce it, try to get more reps, a rep range, and do more of a drop set type of deal. With that, another core exercise, supine, with a V up, Russian twist. You come up with a V up. I would count the V up as 1, right? So you do the V up, that's 1. Come back, another V up, 2, and then get that 10 rep range with the V up. And then the iso bear hold with the push. I think it's just another fun thing to do, like a different movement. That, you know, I could see Todd having some fun with that, pressing things out front, getting some power and explosive. Team relay, I know we just did one not too long ago, so I would like to spread them out some, but I think it kind of be cool to see like the environment that we have with even a small location of having like your gym class, right? I recall like the gym relays back in the day, like from gym or field day when you had those things outside, you know, back in elementary school. So you kind of get the energy of the team relay, you see that involvement. And we do like those type of stuff with Todd and Mark Rooney at conferences. So I wanted to throw a team relay in it. I know we did one like 2 weeks ago. but he's coming here, so I kind of want to make it special towards what he does. So that is our Friday, Monday, Wednesday workout. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I have a
Right
question.
front, not back to front.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So you have many more people in your classes. I'm still trying to figure out the most efficient way to take people from 6 stations to 3 stations and then having them disperse themselves amongst 3 different exercises per station. What is that? How do you navigate that logistically?
For the AMRAP,
Yeah, from 6 stations for the first round, to going into an AMRAP.
oh, I mean, if you got to call people out, we call some like I would call the people out that I know I'm comfortable with. If I see like there's an area that's overcrowded, right? Because usually they're trying to find their buddies, right? So you're gonna try to find their buddies, and so like our kettlebell. So usually by the ropes, we always have a cloud. That's where everyone hovers over there, right? So I might be like, yo, Kayla, and you can tell Kayla because I used Kayla last week too as a example. So Kayla is a well-known member and she talks a lot. So that's why we always say Kayla. Kayla, Aaron, Seth, hey, come to the middle, right? I might just tell, I might have to I might have to direct them where to go, where there's less people, so it won't be so crowded. And I'm like, hey man, and I always say, if you feel overcrowded, it's probably because you are. Spread yourself out. So like people will know, like, okay, and in mindset too, like, if you're gonna be looking for, we only got 200-pound kettlebells. So if you feel like you're in the same station with 5 people are gonna use that kettlebell, you know what I mean? Like you might want to go to a group that you see that no one's gonna touch that kettlebell. So every time you get there, you're not waiting around for someone to be done with their movements. So there's not really any issues, like if you see people getting stuck somewhere, it's like they might just go back to the dumbbells and do that until something's done and over with. But really it usually gets pretty spread out. And I mean, we get up the classes, and I think the AMRAPs work the best for the AMRAPs in the complex for us with like when we have like 30 plus people in a session. Like it looks like it's literally controlled chaos. Like it looks like chaotic in here, but it works well with the flow of the room when the classes are that big. But just make sure again, like if you see like in one area of the room, there's only 5 people, but you got 15 at the other, like you might have to say, hey, can you 5 go down there just to spread out the class a little bit more?
Okay, maybe we overthought it too much.
Yeah, I was just gonna say on that, like, for me, when I'm teaching and I'm going from those 6 stations to then an AMRAP, I don't allow them. I say allow because literally I want to take the think right out of it for them. And I assign, I'm like, okay, so, and I'll call out some names. I'm like, you guys are all going to that turf. That's where you're going to start. And then I'm like, okay. And then blah, 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 and I'll call out some names of those groups. I tell them where they're going to start, because then I don't have to wonder where they're going to start. I just take the think right out of it. I do it with a lot of we were doing some partner stuff in here. And I tell, okay, you two are going to start here. You're going to start there. You guys, like when we were doing some DECA training stuff, I don't let them try to think of it themselves. That's why we have a clock. That's why we tell them every week what to do. I try to take the think right out of it for them. Then I know my session is organized and in control. So
Okay,
I just do that. I just tell them.
And then Cindy,
Yeah.
once they're in that station, are you like, how are you telling them if they're going to start with exercise 1, 2, or 3? Are you doing that as well?
Typically not. Ours kind of no. I don't have to really go there. But
In a newer location, you might tell them, circuit clockwise or whatever, so that way they don't create a
Yeah.
bottleneck where they're all, 1 and 3 wind up at 2 together, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's true, like you could say, like with that being said too, is like, hey man, there's like if you see someone starting at the kettlebells that might be a heavier kettlebell, or you might because I know a lot of like, I mean, we have a lot more dumbbells and kettlebells in most locations. So say like if you feel like you're gonna have to wait for your weight, start somewhere else. Like give them that option to start somewhere else. So when they get there, they're not waiting for that weight too. So there could be, I mean, and I don't know how we can do it. Like, I don't know if you have like like we have a tri page, like we do a lot of stuff like on our tri page that will explain things like that. So like even go like, hey, the person behind AMRAP is this, like you do a quick video. So next time you're we're doing an AMRAP style workout, just know if, you're in a group that you guys you utilize the same weight, that you might not have that. So you might have to separate just so you're not calling nobody out. You're just giving like a kind of a general rule of how the AMRAP works, right? And that's you talking to them as a coach saying like, hey, this is a format that we do at Jordan. Why we do it is a way that you can really test your strength, you know, as more of a strength focused workout. So when you're in for our next AMRAP workout, just know if if you're in the same group with everyone that's going to be using the same weight as you, you're probably gonna be waiting a little longer. So try to split yourself out. You know, you're still gonna get the vibe with the class. And honestly, like especially with AMRAP, I ain't looking at who's working out next to me anyways, because you know I'm too focused on, you know, getting my reps in.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a you can do to have it touch.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I wanted to make a comment about was the squat to stand, where's foam roller squat to stand. So the first part of the AMRAP, the thing that you see very, very common, and I would say probably half of your
I know what
clientele
you're saying. It's
will have their knees in close,
inside.
their arms on the outside.
You can pick up.
So when you're demoing it, you say it, you show it, you say it, you show it, and then you have to watch it. And because I'll just
Your
show
hips
you.
are open.
Right. So, you know, I'll just pretend I have a foam roller in my hand, but you want them here and then knees on the outside, like opening those hips up. Bring your, foam roller up, drive through your heels and stand up. So, but they will inevitably
Yes.
have their knees tucked right in and they'll be holding their foam roller. I don't know if they'll do this. That's what they'll do. And then they'll be like,
Yeah.
you can't really even
And
spread.
that helps too, because a lot of people you see that have issues with their squats or knees caved in. So that's another way too to help them understand that. You know, I know that foam rollers are long, so like you necessarily do not need to use a foam roller, right? And there's times like there's people here that arms are not long enough to do it. So like I will just tell them like, yo, just working with your body weight. Go down, grab your toes, right? Your goal is to grab your toes, again, working on flexibility. So you do want to bend first. Because a lot of people want to go right to the squat and then actually mess people right up. So it's very important to hit that hinge first, reach out for your toes, and then drive your knees out and have your elbows inside. So it helps with that issue with squats that their knees keep in, working on that, the abduction of their hips to open up as they go down to that squat. Good point, Cindy. I forgot all about that.
I always count it out. It's a 4 count. It's a bend. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So,
Boom.
and I count it when I demo it. I count
Yep.
it, show them. So anyways, that's all I had to say about that.
I do too, and I learned that from you.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh.
Hey, there you go. Good stuff from Cindy. And you know, Trish, I guess just final comment on that. I think you got a lot of good info on organizing your room. But you know, when we're at conference, right? Hey, get with somebody you really want to work with. Hey, group of 2, get with a group of 4, right? You know, before you know it, it could be a group of 4 getting with another group of 4 if you wound up having a room of 24 people. And then you've got them, right? They're okay, this group over here, this group here, like you can do that really quick. In fact, well, one coach is setting up, the other coach could do that. They could be that type of person. So the organizer, the ringmaster.
Mhm.
All right, so that is that one. I'm going to stop the record.